Good evening. Hello, my name is Peter Goff, and I have had the honor to be the athletic director here at Kaneland High School for 4 years. And my first year, during the 2014-2015 school year, I was able to coach the Kaneland Knights girls softball team. So first of all, I'd like to thank everybody that had something to do with bestowing this great honor onto this team. It's greatly appreciated by myself, and I know the young ladies that are out in the audience today feel the same way. I'm just going to kind of talk about a couple highlights of the year. First of all, I was not even supposed to coach, and it was brought up to me. We didn't have a coach, so I can remember the human resource director looking and goes, "Mr. Goff, I see that you coach softball in Sterling." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, you're the coach." So that was me. In my first year as being an athletic director, I was the head girls softball coach. And it had been a while since I coached softball. And back then, this is when kind of the reels were starting to come on, looking on the internet. And I can remember I saw a reel with a star drill. And I remember walking in, I go, "Okay, girls, I watched the video today, and we're going to try this drill." They all looked at me and laughed at me because I had to watch a video. So nowadays, you can't do anything without watching a video on how to do things. So that was way, way before YouTube. A couple other things. Well, I kind of don't feel right about standing here and talking about Kaneland without my trusty Kaneland Knight baseball cap that Mr. Aversa gave me when I became it, and about this nice medal that we won that year. So now I feel a little bit better at home having this on, the third place medal. A couple things about the season that always sticks out into my mind. First is that I know the girls were supposed to go to Tennessee that year. We couldn't. So I got a trip and we went to Quincy. Got a nice charter bus. I remember we were able to stop in my hometown of Rock Falls, and we had Arthur's Garden Deli sandwiches. I can remember that. We all had our bellies full. We're driving down. I'm sleeping. I wake up to the movie called Zombieland with Woody Harrelson yelling, "Cardio, cardio." And for some odd reason, well, I first asked Coach Kiefler, I go, "What are we watching?" And he goes, "Cardio, baby, cardio." And so that became kind of our battle cry that year, was cardio. I remember walking down playing Quincy Notre Dame, and I just remember we just put a thumping. I think we 10-0'd them, and we were all kind of knowing each other at that time. And I remember Paige Kiefler hitting a home run and sprinting, and she's running towards third, and I put my hands up. I go, "You hit a home run, slow down." And she had no idea that she did that. So that was really incredible of the work ethic that these young ladies had beforehand. And speaking about work ethic, usually when I coached, I was always the person in Sterling. When I coached girls softball, they called me Bobby Knight. And here we had Coach Kiefler. And I remember we'd start practice and Coach Kiefler would come a little bit late, and I was the athletic director, so the girls knew what to do. And I would come out and they would be running around the diamond with a phone, sitting here filming themselves. And I go, "What are you doing?" And they go, "We're proving to Coach Kiefler that we did our pregame warm-up." So I knew right there that Mike was always going to be the heavy, and I was going to be the one that could just sit back. And like I said, is that I just got him on the bus and drove the bus. So that was good to have, and we had a great dynamic. So that was one of the key things that I knew that it was going to kind of be a special year. But one game that really stuck out in my mind is that we were down in Morris. I believe it was the first game of the conference. We're getting beat 6-0. We're in the first base dugout. I would have to walk over to the third base dugout. And I remember the two Morris coaches just giddy with excitement because they were beating us, because we knew we had a good team and they knew we were good. But then all of a sudden, I remember Meg Coors hitting the scoreboard, and all I heard was a big, and I go, "Oh my gosh." And I can remember we came back, and I think we came back and beat them by 6. And I remember walking over to the ladies, the coaches at Morris. They weren't talking to me after that inning. And then when we're walking out, because we always handed out game balls, I looked at Coach Mike and I go, this conversation's a lot different than I thought it was going to be 30 minutes ago when we were getting beat by 6. So that was one game that really stuck out in my mind that I knew we were very special. Kind of going through the regular season, we were undefeated, I believe, in our side of the conference. I think our 2 conference losses were to Geneseo and then LaSalle, Peru. But heading into the regional, I know we went to Lamont. And I can remember that championship game. It took them forever to get the field ready. And we were 2 outs. I believe it was Paige hit one down to third, and I was lined right up with the third baseman, and she threw the ball over her head. So that was the error. Then on the next pitch to Morgan Weber, there was a pond over left field, and I remember Morgan smoking the home run and landing in the pond. So the prelude, we win, we come out, we're taking pictures, and someone goes, "Where's Morgan?" I go, "Where's Morgan Weber?" Well, Morgan was out in the lake getting the ball that she hit because she wanted to hit it because she hit a home run, and that was the game winner. So that was great, and I knew, by then we all knew each other, and I knew Morgan always kind of beat to her own drum, but she was a great player, and she was really funny. Then after we won the regional, we got to go to Montini. I remember beating them so bad. I can remember that the coach goes, "Do you have enough runs?" And all I did was look back and just kept going like this, waving them in. So we won the sectional. We go to the super sectional. I can remember, I think Meg Coors hits a double into the right center field gap, and I have Paige coming around. It was either or. It was either Paige hit it or Meg hit it. I remember getting it in. I remember Coach Mike yelling at me, "Pay attention," and I'm yelling, "I got it, I got it, I got it." And we got him in because every time we scored first, we always won. So I wanted to make sure we got that in. But there's numerous stories that we have. And here's just some fun facts about this team. And yes, I still have to wear cheaters, ladies. We were there was only 2 teams in state to get to say that they finished the season on a win. And that was the 2015 Kaneland Knights when we won one of those games. We lost a heartbreaker in the semifinals. I can still remember it rained, and I can remember Allie out playing right field, and I can remember the ball, and they didn't get I can just remember her falling in a mud puddle out there. Still didn't think that game should have been played, but they did it. So we were that. Goals for that year that stood out is that 1, we wanted to get to June because then we knew that we made it, and we wanted to end the season on a win, and we did that. And here's one thing. The Kaneland Knights that year outscored all their opponents season long 235 to 91. I knew we had a great defense and a great offense as well. Really great pitching. It was just a great year. So teams like the 2015 Kaneland Knights softball team only come around once in a lifetime. And for me, that was probably one of the greatest lifetimes as I've ever had coaching a bunch of great young adults, and they always kept their eye on the prize. Listen, practice. The best thing is that they always practice hard. I know they didn't want to do it, but I know Coach Mike and myself, we just kept pushing each other, and we were able to do that. So once again, thank you for this great honor. And like Woody Harrelson said in the Zombieland, cardio now or cardio later? Go Knights.